here we are back again. I'm just not seeing anyone checking in, so just wanted to make sure that we were right on the right track here. So coming into the cow and coming into the cat. And then find the space in between that inhale and that expansion, and then that exhale and that release, that you can feel yourself just right in between. So you can feel yourself that you're neither arching your back, and we're going to begin a little breath of fire here, really starting to feel, oh, there you go, good morning. So as we take our bellies, we're going to exhale forcefully and draw that belly in, that you can feel that belly really lift up. So we're going to exhale and then just relax it. Try not making the body physically move. So we're just feeling that pumping of the belly muscles. And you may start hearing that rush of air coming out. Now keep going, but we want to begin to feel this kind of power, this energy that's coming into that belly region. Just a little more. Let's take a big deep breath, but don't move the back. So don't come into cow, just take a big breath here. Feel the expansion, feel the top of the head stretch from the tailbone. The curls are tucked in, and as you exhale, draw that belly muscle in. Don't come to cat, but can you let your knees now hover off the mat? So I'm going to go ahead just for a moment and turn to my side, that you can see the knees come up just enough that I could move them, but not enough that the tush is coming up, and we're finding that space. So find that sense of power here, that sense of strength. And then go ahead and allow those knees to come down. Exhaling into cat, let's come into cow again. Doing that just a few more times. Now let's go ahead one more time, finding that cow pose. Go ahead this time. Find that cow, really lift and open that chest. Now as we exhale, we're just going to draw that belly in again. Exhale, feel that belly and lift those knees just a bit. Now once the knees are here, we're pushing the front of the mat away from us. Swing those hips back. So this is a puppy dog pose, that our knees are elevated. We feel the back lengthening. Feel the arms really strong here. And then can we start to allow the hips to rise up a bit? Paddle as you come in here to that downward facing dog. Can we walk our feet up to our hands? See if you can keep your hands on the mat. Take your time allowing the feet to come up so that you can feel the hips align over the ankles. Finding that nice fold, and we'll inhale, look forward. Find that monkey. When you're ready, exhale, come deeper into that fold one more time. Can we allow the hands to be nice and strong? And maybe see if we can hover our heels just a tiny bit off the mat. Again, same thing, that we're not lifting them all the way up. And then lower the front of the heels down again. Inhale to that monkey. So feel the back muscles now really on board. Make sure the knees have a little bend. Let's shift our weight into our right leg. And we're going to take this left foot and step it back. Go ahead, take it as far back and down the mat as you can. So you may feel the hips easing back. So go ahead and bring the hips more forward. And then walk the hands so that they're in line right under those shoulders. And then we're just going to inhale and let our chest look forward. That's all we're going to do here. How's that right leg feel? It should be very much alive. Maybe we bring our hands back, bringing those arms into those ribs so that we can really feel that length. We can really feel that sense of power in that right leg. And then when you're ready, let's lower the hands down. As we exhale, ease that right hip back. And just give yourself a moment here to find your pyramid. Maybe feel that inhale, lengthening the spine, feeling that exhale, that releasing down. Let's just do that maybe a few times, just noticing that little change. Feeling that right hip easing its way back, left hip easing its way forward. And then let's bend that right knee one more time. Maybe feel that right hip coming back a little, that left hip coming forward. Again, feel that you can feel that belly engage. Maybe feel that pelvic floor. Can you then lift that upper body just a little bit? Challenge yourself. So we're not arching the back, we're not bringing that tush up. And then maybe again, those arms down to the side and open. Now this time we're going to take it a little further as we come back down. So let's reach our hands forward on the mat, step back, plank pose. Breathe. Again, those fingers are wide. Think about that tripod. Feel the breath here. Maybe ease yourself a little back, ease yourself a little forward. And then when you're ready, let's take ourselves down into a chaturanga. As we come forward, lower the body down. And let's just come up here to baby cobra once we let our body come all the way down. Maybe roll the shoulders a bit. And then lift up into that cobra. And exhale, come back just for a moment. Give yourself a little child's pose. Find length from the tips of the fingers all the way to the tail. And we're going to come back up into hands and knees. So readjust where those hands are. Come up into those hands and knees position. Can you find one more time that balance, that you're neither arching your back or sagging your back? It's not a cow, it's not a cat, but it's just this strong sense of balance. Let's go ahead and curl the toes under again. And we're going to take a big full deep breath as we feel the head coming forward, the tail coming back. You really feel this sense of length. And notice on that inhale, we lift that pelvic floor, that mula bandha. And as we exhale, can you lift those knees again, maybe just an inch off the floor? Breathe here. This should be a little work for you. And then we're going to press our hips back, come into that puppy dog again, that the knees are off the ground. We feel length, feel the body work, the back strong, and then allow the hips to rise up one more time, finding that downward facing dog. And maybe walk that dog just a bit. Slowly allowing the feet to walk up to meet the hands, but again, feel how the hips align themselves over the hands. We come into our fold, looking at all 10 toes, wide and long. Feel the arches of the feet lift. Let's take a nice inhale, that extended forward fold, that monkey pose. And then as we exhale, let that upper body come all the way down. Let's go ahead and find that monkey once again. This time we'll leave our left foot where it is. Make sure the knees have a little bend. Maybe you feel that warmth and power in that belly. Shift the weight into the left. Let's take that right foot, step it all the way back. And again, notice when we step back, maybe that whole body kind of flows back. So see if we can go ahead and bring the hips a bit more forward. Feel the strength in that right leg, like the muscles are wrapping into the bones. Walk the hands to come in line with the front left foot. And then as you inhale, just let your chest lift a tiny bit. And then maybe once again, bring your hands back. Breathe. How's that left leg feel? Maybe you really feel that glute, that butt cheek. Stay here, breathe. Let's go ahead and take 3 more breaths here. Feel that strength, that power. Now when you're ready, the hands once again come down. And we'll ease the hips back, finding that pyramid. Maybe notice that left hip eases back a little bit more. And now breathe into that space that you're creating. Can we go into that lunge again? So when you're ready, as you inhale, sliding those hips forward. Wait until you feel that left leg really turn on. And then lift that upper body just enough, find that space. And then maybe bring those arms back again. And maybe that left butt cheek is really saying, good morning. Now when we put our hands down, reach them forward, we're going to step back, plank pose. Maybe this is where we stay. We love our plank. As you're pushing that ground away, feel the body strong, and maybe once again, feel yourself coming a bit forward. You can feel yourself coming forward on the tippy toes. Let's come into that chaturanga, shall we? Come forward, lower down all the way. Let's come up first, baby cobra. Can we take our cobra up the rest of the way? And then slowly bring the knees to a place that you can ease the hips back. And let's find that child's pose. One more time, we're going to walk our hands so that they come under the shoulders as we come up into hands and knees. Remember that breath that we did at the very beginning. The breath of fire. It's also called the Kapalabhati breath. So can we once again feel that forceful exhale? Feel that belly muscle really firm in, and let's find that one more time here. At your own pace, maybe beginning with the mouth open, and then you can close the mouth and just do it through the nose. Keep going here. I can hear you. Feeling that sense of power here that you find in that belly. Let's take a big deep breath again. Don't really move the body, but just feel yourself lengthen. If your toes have pointed, curl those toes in. And as we exhale, just allow those knees to float up again. And then press the hips all the way back. Maybe you can feel the belly to the thighs. Maybe you can feel yourself easing back a bit more, then allowing those hips to come up once again. Walking that dog. And then can we walk our feet up once again towards our hands? Take time that we can feel those hips align over the feet. Find that nice fold. Maybe it's a bit deeper than it was the first time. Can we really feel our hands strong and then allow the heels to hover now? Feel all 10 toes wide, all 10 fingers wide, and just hover. When you're ready, we'll softly begin to lower the front of the heel again, and let's inhale and look forward. That extended forward fold. Make sure the knees have a little bend. Maybe you feel that heat and power in that belly. Let's feel all our weight shift into that right leg. If you will, feel that right glute, that butt cheek. Breathe into that as though you're breathing into a balloon. And then we're going to take the left foot and we're going to step it back again. So again, notice the hips come all the way back. So maybe bring the hips a bit more forward. Walk the hands again so they're in line under the shoulders. We're just going to come up that part of the way again. But this time, can we lift up? Find a lunge. You may find that you want that left heel to turn in because you want to take it into warrior. And of course, because that gives you more stability. But the lunge, you have to work. Let's bring our arms up overhead. Feel that left leg really strong. Make sure you don't fall into that left knee. Let the arms come on down. Now let's challenge ourselves here a bit. As we inhale, can we straighten that right leg? Lift up. And then can we exhale, sinking down just a bit? Let's do that one more time. Lift up slowly. And exhale, come down. We'll hinge gently at the hips once again. Come forward, find that space. And then allow the hands to come down. Now here, the choice is yours. Would you like to come into that plank and that chaturanga again? Or would you just like to step up and meet in the fold? I'll give you a moment to find that space for you. Wherever you are, we're going to meet in a forward fold. But maybe today, that extra chaturanga, that cobra, is exactly what you need. And when you do find that downward facing dog, we'll just walk our feet one more time up to the front. Finding that fold. And then we should all be back here at the front of the mat. So let's once again look forward. Extended forward fold, that monkey. Make sure the knees have a little bend. You can feel the belly. You can feel the power and the heat. Shifting our weight into that left leg. So again, when you feel that weight shift, can you feel that butt cheek? Breathe into that like you're breathing into a balloon, that you can feel that power. And then that right leg is going to step back. Again, the hips fall back. So let them come forward, move, that you can feel that sense of power. And then when you're ready, we lift that upper body, we find that space. Now what's cool here is you're going to notice how the two sides are not the same. So when you're ready, you come up. Maybe you feel stronger on this side, maybe you feel stronger on the other. Let's bring those arms up because again, we're in lunge. What is that heel trying to do? Is that right heel trying to turn? Of course it is. It's trying to find warrior, which is more stable. Let's go ahead and bring the arms down. And then let's inhale, see if we can straighten up. And then exhale, come down. Let's do that once again. Pause, feel. Maybe you're working a little balance here. And then exhale again, come down. Can we slowly begin to hinge at the hip? Find that place that got us here. Then the hands again come down. Let's go ahead. We have time for one more chaturanga. So go ahead, step back into plank. Maybe move forward and back just a little bit. When you're ready, come forward. Lower down. Inhale to that cobra. And then exhale, bringing the hips back. Just ease yourself here. And then slowly let our hands walk towards our knees. Let our upper body lift. And just take a moment to find your seat. Now, just an easy seated pose. So there is no strength if we can't connect and access that energy that we have within the core of our being. In yoga, we talk about that mula bandha, which begins at the feet, moving all the way up, that lifting of that pelvic floor. And we get this when we breathe in. We can feel that lift, that opening. And then that exhale, we can really access deep into that manipura, that third chakra, that chakra of personal power and connection. We may be able to feel that heat. So before we come into our gentle practice, let's just sit nice and tall, let our eyes close, and one more time find that breath of fire, that Kapalabhati breath. So again, maybe we exhale through the mouth, like a panting dog. Or maybe we can allow our mouth to be closed and just through the nose. But let your eyes close and draw all your awareness to that third chakra, to that place at the solar plexus. Your place of personal power, of strength. A place where we're able to make decisions and choices, that we can make the changes that we need in our life. Let's all take a big deep breath. The arms reach up. Just take a moment here with our arms lifted. Let our eyes gently close. Maybe we feel our body sway a little side to side. And if maybe you're just joining us now at 10:30 for gentle, welcome. Or maybe now you're just easing in from working. Just take a moment here to raise the arms high, to soften the shoulders from the ears, and to just breathe. And those of you who are now just joining, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are staying, so glad that you're here. We'll bring our arms down to the side. And we're going to begin seated from this part and let our legs come out just a bit. Now, if you need to raise your hips up, please go ahead and grab a blanket or something to raise your buttocks. All of us, though, have a little extra baggage here. I know we all do. That we can take our hands and maybe move that baggage a little back. So when we do that, we're moving that hip back, and you may start to feel that sits bone. It's actually called the ischial tuberosity. We'll do a little test at the end of class. So we want to do that on both sides. This is at the very base of the pelvis, but you can feel when you move that back, you can feel them that you're sitting there, kind of just perched in that space. We let our legs widen out. Now, depending on you, they can be as wide as the mat, maybe a little wider than the mat. We're not trying to take them all the way out into a split, but just enough. And then depending on you, if you have a hard time with the legs straight, you're welcome to take, like if you have blocks, maybe you brought a blanket or something, you can also take that under the knees, but again, raising your hips can help. And we're just going to sit up nice and tall. Let's roll our shoulders a few times. So we want to feel that as we roll the shoulders, we feel the shoulder blades coming in the back, instead of rolling forward where we feel the shoulder blades coming out. And think about it. This is what we do when we're kind of like relaxed and we're leaning over a grocery cart, although I'm sure we don't do that now, right? But when we draw them up and back, you feel those shoulder blades come in, then you feel the collarbones widen, feel that chest open, and we can feel how much better that feels. So find where you now feel good, that you feel those shoulder blades engage, that heart open. And our hands can rest on the thighs. They can rest if you want on the ground, but we're just going to start to circle just a little bit. Now the circle can be really tiny. So we want our eyes to close, because what I want you to see is within yourself. So just as we breathe in and we breathe out, just breathe in and out into the places of the body. And if for today you prefer to be in a chair, you can certainly do this in a chair as well. Just have your legs, instead of close together, let your knees out. And sitting with your legs out a little bit in a chair is called slam. Sit like a man. There are some studies that show that sitting with the legs wider like that are a little bit better on the hip joint, rather than always trying to keep them tight in, maybe a little strain. And especially for us gals when our hips are wider. So see how you feel. You widen the legs as much as comfortable for you. Now notice the direction of your body. Circles are either going to go one of two ways, clockwise or counterclockwise, so you're going one of the other here. And then go ahead and allow yourself to find stillness. Just come back to center for a moment. Let your eyes close, and you may still feel that movement. So inside of our body is still moving. And then can we allow that circle to go in the other direction? And again, just breathe. Just breathing in. Just breathing out. That's all we need to do here. Breathe deeply into the base of our lungs. And feeling as we exhale that we're letting go of whatever it is that we may wish to no longer carry with us. Let your eyes close and just feel. Circular motions are actually so natural for us, because everything in our body is really working in a circle, our circulatory system. Even all of our endocrine, everything in our system, because there's that mainframe that dictates and information goes out, information comes in, so everything's moving in a circle in some fashion or the other. Go ahead and circle one more time. Just go ahead and take it through. And then again, come back center. sit up nice and tall. Let your shoulders soften. Maybe you need to roll them a couple times. That's fine. Maybe you need to readjust that tush. Do you remember what that was called? The sits bones? Remember there's a test? Ischial tuberosity. And maybe sitting back. Let's go ahead and take our right hand. Just reach it a little bit to the right side. Looking to the left as we inhale, raise that left arm up. Now look up to the sky as we bring that left arm over. So we're looking up a bit, sliding that left shoulder back a bit. And notice that right hand. We don't want it too heavy. It's not like we let our body fall, but we just stretch that arm out that we can really feel ourselves creating length and space. Find that breath. Maybe you can feel how the fingers of that left hand and the hip of that left are creating all that space between them. And then as we inhale up again, still look left. Can you turn left? And let's take that left hand just on the mat back behind us. We're sliding that left shoulder back, and then let that right hand come over to that left thigh. Now check out just for a moment. Be aware of your feet. If your toes are turning out, you may find your tailbone trying to tuck under and your back kind of getting compressed a bit. So try to allow your toes to be pointing to the ceiling so that you can feel a little energy into the inner thighs. And you'll find that that back stays very long and tall. But when the toes turn out, it tightens the butt, it tucks that tail under, and that doesn't help us into this space. Now we want to come into that side move once again. So can we continue to look left, but now take our right hand, take it onto our right shin, and then slide down. Can we reach that foot? Now maybe we can reach into those yogi toes. I'm going to look at you for a moment and say, ah yes, you've got it. I can see. But we still turn to the left. If you can reach the toe, great. If you need your hands still down at the shin, that's great too. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift that left arm up. We're still looking to the left and bring our body over. And then see where you go. Now is that left hip flying up in the air? If it is, you're just too eager to go into the pose, so pull back a little bit. Feel that left hip still on that earth. We still have to feel grounded and strong. And find that space. Maybe your fingers are saying, oh, I'd like to touch that foot, but not quite. That's okay. It will come. And then as we inhale, slowly rise up. We're going to come in that twist one more time, guys. So as we lift up tall, let's take that left hand again behind us. Feel that shoulder blade, right hand to that left thigh. And maybe you've gotten that twist just a bit deeper. And we're still looking left, but just for a moment, let's turn our heads. Look right. Let me see you smile. And then we'll turn our head left again. And then taking our time, just take a moment, turning, coming back to center. Just notice what's going on in that left side of the body. What do you feel? How do you feel? Maybe we roll those shoulders a few times again. We sit up nice and tall. Do you want to adjust the butt cheeks? Find those ischial tuberosities. Find that length. Let's this time take that left hand, reach it onto the mat to the left. So it comes off the mat onto the floor, but be careful we don't fall into it. We're just reaching. We'll turn our head, look right, just here, getting that little stretch. And then as we inhale, taking that right arm out, Taking that right arm up and reaching ourselves over. Looking to the right. Breathing here into this space. So as we inhale again, can we lift, turn ourselves all the way to the right, bring that right hand back, sitting up nice and tall. Left hand now will go to the right thigh, and we sit up. Find that breath. Now still looking to that right, can we take now that left hand, bring it to that left leg, maybe slide it down first to the shin. Then maybe can we reach it to that big toe? Just feel that stretch here, and then when we're ready, that right arm comes up and we bring ourselves over. Again, find what works for you. It's not where I am, but it's where you are, where you need to be today. And then as we inhale, you're still looking to the right. Lift up tall, bringing that right hand back behind you, lifting into that twist, left hand to right thigh. And were you able to get a little deeper into that twist? I bet you can. Sitting tall. And then let's go ahead and turn our head left. Let me see you smile. And then turning our head to the right again. And then slowly come back to center. Feel the shoulders relax. Feel the body. How are you feeling here? Now maybe we want to readjust our butt cheeks. Let's bring our hands under our thighs, give ourselves a little bend to our knees. So we're out wide here. See if we can work our arms now to the inside of our legs. Maybe take our elbows and push in a little, feel our heart lift, and then when we're ready, lowering our hands to the mat. Now, if the first thing we do is we round our back, we're going to find, again, our tailbone coming in. So can we let our heart look forward? Feel those collarbones widen. Feel that length, and maybe feel yourself reaching into the pose. And then once you've gone as far as you can, then go ahead and allow the body to melt down. But if you start to feel that tail tucking under, you're not really getting a stretch. You're just kind of taking that spine and making it like a little shrimp there. So reaching yourself, maybe feel that inhale, lengthening and expanding a bit more, and then exhaling, coming back just a bit, maybe a little deeper. And then as we inhale, look up. Feel those shoulder blades coming together. Feel that heart open, walking those hands in. We're going to sit nice and tall. Let's go ahead and take our ankles and cross them for a moment. Yes, we're still on our butts. See how we feel. And can we slowly from here roll ourselves forward and come into hands and knees. So it's that same process as we lift tall. Remember, we took our elbows and we kind of pushed those legs out. So we're kind of opening that front body, rolling forward. There you have it. Come into that hands and knees. But here we're going to widen out our knees. Keep them on the mat. Point your toes. Let the big toes kiss. Let's look forward here, a nice cow pose. As you exhale, come to cat. Feel yourself easing back. We're going to allow your hips to come to the heels. Look forward and open the heart again. This time we're going to walk our hands forward on the mat, finding an extended child's pose. Can you allow your forehead to rest? Now this may be where you'd want to grab if you brought a towel or blanket or a block, where you could allow the head to rest. And maybe you say, hey, my shoulder, my body just doesn't work that way today. So we can take those hands and maybe stack them so that our foreheads rest. Or maybe we have some other accoutrements that we want, like a pillow or something, and we can even let that come under our chest here. So whatever feels good, just take a moment just to kind of settle ourselves in. And then to come out, we take a nice inhale. We start to look forward. We'll start to walk our hands back. See if just for a moment we can come into a pose where our hips rest to the heels. We're not going to stay here, so go ahead and shift one more time back onto your hips. This time we're going to allow our legs, our feet to walk to the front of the mat. Get our legs long. Maybe go ahead and massage and kind of stretch the legs out. Move those ankles around a bit, whatever feels good. And then we're going to bend our knees. So use your hands maybe under the knees. Go ahead and lift. And again, do you want to move that extra baggage? Do you remember what I called it? Those sits bones. Ischial tuberosities. And let's sit nice and tall. We're going to come into a nice twist. So when you're ready, our right arm is going to reach forward like we're going to shake someone's hand, lifting up, turning to the right. Bringing that right hand back behind us. And let's see if we can take our left elbow now to the outside of that right leg. And we can sit up nice and tall. Now if the shoulder feels like it's creeping in the ears, can we soften that down? Feel the heart lift. So you're pressing that elbow into the outside of the leg. Getting a nice seated pose, a nice seated twist. Breathe. Now slowly, instead of coming out of the pose, we're going to release this left arm. We're going to take this right leg and let that float down to the mat. We may want to readjust that right hand just a little bit. Let's lengthen that left leg all the way down the mat, and we're going to use that left arm, lift up. As we press that left foot strongly, reach that left arm towards the back. Find a space of length. And then slowly come back down. Now as we come back down, leave the left leg long. Can we keep that right knee bent? Sitting up here nice and tall. Let's bring ourselves into the head to knee pose. Lengthening through and just easing the body. So we take that right shoulder and it's reaching towards that left leg. And just easing ourselves in. So maybe you feel that right side of the ribs, the shoulder blade. Maybe you take that right hand and you can reach it to the outside of that left foot. Maybe that gives you a little bit more space. Breathing here. And if you're really stretching That arm forward, you're really stretching the chest forward to the leg. You may start feeling that package in the butt come out from underneath of you to find that space. And then to come up, lengthening through, rising up. Let's go ahead one more time. Let both the knees bend, the feet are flat. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's take that left hand, reach that forward like we're going to shake someone's hand, rotating to the left, bringing that hand back. We're in that nice twist, right elbow to the outside of the left leg, sitting tall. Find that twist. And again, you can do this seated. That hand can be behind on that chair. You can be bent with that elbow on the thigh. But again, be cautious that that right shoulder isn't creeping up. Now let's go ahead and feel that right arm release. And that left leg is just going to open. So you feel that right hip lift a bit. And then can we lengthen that right leg down? So we're going to put all the weight in that left arm and in that left knee. Well, actually, it's the outside of the leg. We're going to raise that right side up and come over. Find your breath. And then as we slowly flow out, lowering first the left hip, then the right, turning. Let's keep that left knee bent, that foot into that right thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, taking that left shoulder towards that right leg. And as we lift and lengthen our Janu Shirshasana. So if Tina, you're out there, I know you always giggle when I say that. So left shoulder to the right foot, and maybe we can take that left hand to that right foot. And maybe we really feel the shoulder blades. We really feel the ribs. We can find that lengthening. And again, we may feel that buttocks. We may feel that tissue underneath kind of sliding back. And then to come out, let's inhale. Slowly rise. Go ahead and take that left leg again, take it long. Sitting up nice and tall. And this is when you have your time for whatever it is that you may wish to seal your practice. Gently beginning when you're ready to lower yourself down on the mat. Find your space. Feel supported and relaxed. Feel your eyes gently close. And just feel the prana, the breath, moving into the body. Feel those lungs completely fill. Maybe opening your mouth and letting out a sigh. Just feel that sense of softness and release. All we need to do is just breathe. can stay here as long as you wish.